What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. Now, before we get into it, I want to address something, people. Alright, I know if you've been watching me, you've been watching the videos, and you be seeing me tweaking. Yeah, well, okay, so what? Your boy indulges in the devil's lettuce. So when I get up here on these videos, I be tweaking. My eyes be flickering and flattering. They be battering left and right, up and down. But I give y'all these stories, right? I'm giving y'all these stories, right? So I hope I don't have to wear sunglasses to make y'all happy. Because somebody said my eyes going all over the place is making them look crazy. I don't care. I'm here to share these stories, y'all. I'm here to keep you and your loved ones away from the prison system, y'all. Stay out the jails. And the way you're going to do that, you got to take some advice. Whether you listen to me or some of the other YouTubers out there that been through it. Just heed the warnings, people. Prison ain't for everybody. Now, let's get into it, y'all. What job would you do in prison? What job would you do in prison, people? Because there are a lot of jobs that are good and a lot that are bad. Some jobs you actually make a little bit of money, and some jobs, man, you don't make nothing. It ain't no point leaving the tier. We're gonna get into it, y'all, coming up next. Okay, people, so today's topic is working in prison. Does hard work pay off in prison? What jobs could there possibly be in prison? Well, people, let me let you know. There are many jobs in prison. It's a prison, people. Of course you're going to work. And it's punishment. Most of the jobs, you barely getting paid. Some jobs you get 25 cents a day. Some jobs you might get more. Now, I'm going to give y'all a list of 6 of the best jobs that you should strive to go for while you're in prison. And I'll tell you why. These 6 jobs that I'm going to tell you about give you many benefits. Excuse me. Like movement, extra food or better food, contraband, real money. There's a variety of things that you can get. And some of these jobs, unfortunately, you can't acquire behind the wall. What do I mean behind the wall? That's in the building, people. All jails have camps and low minimum situations. Even if you're in a building that's a max or whatever, if you continue to do good, you can work your points down to where they have another building outside of that building considered a camp, where movement is a lot freer. Now, let's start. First on my list, people, the prison metal shop. Why would anybody want to work at the metal shop? Well, I worked at the metal shop, y'all, and I'll put this on a scale of 1 to 5. It's probably a number 2, because you are going to work hard. But the thing that I liked about it was that it took up most of your day. So on my first bid, I didn't know what to do with my time. You get sick of reading books. You get sick of rapping. You get sick of beating down, talking to inmates. You get sick of being on the tier, period. So a job can help you escape your reality, people. And especially if you've worked a regular job before being locked up, you'll be able to adapt to working in prison very easily. Now, where I was at this time, the metal shop had 2 shifts. So I would get up early in the morning, y'all. 6 in the morning, I had to get up, head down to the metal shop. Then they let us out around 12 for lunch. And then, y'all, I came back to the job for the second shift, mandatory. And I was there till about 3 o'clock. They literally had me working all day long, 8 hours. Now, what that did for me, it got me off the tier. It kept me out of trouble. It wasn't but so much interaction with other inmates that weren't at work that I would have. You know, I would only be around for the evening. And we'll get into that too. Not that much of the evening either. A lot of times, y'all, I would end up coming back to the pod just to take it down and go to sleep because I had to get up for a double shift in the morning. But anyway, we'll get into that. Metal shop. You have the ability to pretty much make things. You can hone a craft that you can possibly use when you get out. I learned how to grind metal, weld, just various things that I learned how to do. Make lockers, which is what we were doing. Various things you're going to learn how to do that you could possibly use on the outside. And that's the key, people. You want to take something good away from being locked up. You don't want to go home with a bunch of ideas about doing more bad things you don't learn dealing with your roommate, your bunkmate, and whatnot. So, working at the metal shop and actually showing up, because you could be late to work and all of that. You get written up, all that shit, just like you on the streets. Showing up on time for work. Working hard. When I left that metal shop, I had to do laundry almost every other day, people. My shirt was completely filled with metal shards and whatnot. When we went through the metal detector, we had to take the shirt off because it was going to set the metal detector off. Now, and this is one job that I got from the metal shop. Now, right before I headed out to the camps, there was a position that opened up for a maintenance position. But it wasn't like you think. It wasn't going around picking up garbage and nothing like that. It was literally maintenance on the building. So what that meant was I would work with it. There was one guy that was free. You know, there was the manager, whoever ran it. I forget his name. He's a big dude. He went home every night. You know, he worked it. It was his job. All he had to do was watch us and give us small jobs to do. So he'd say, all right, I need y'all to go take all of these apart or, you know, twist this up, shine this, do whatever. Pretty much, people, my job was so easy that we didn't really have any work to do once I got that job in maintenance. We would literally sit outside all day. You know how you cooped up inside the building in the pod? Nah. We'd go into our department where we work at, the maintenance room, and from that, there was a huge door that opened up on a dock. Trucks backed up and brought stuff. So I would go sit outside and smoke cigarettes all day, people. And the dude that came in there from the free world would bring us cigarettes all day. Now, you know how expensive a cigarette is in the building, or if you order it from commissary. These are extra cigarettes that dude would keep in stock just for us, because he knew, you know, how rough things was. He would just slide them to us for the hell of it, like, here you go, here you go. And now I'm smoking Marlboro Reds. I hate cigarettes, y'all, but hey, I smoke a Marlboro for free up in there. Anyway, y'all, that was that. Occasionally, dude would bring in food. He would bring lunch in for himself, and you know they don't have to eat from the cafeteria, so he would bring outside food and share with us. There's no cameras in there. We're in a big old shop, y'all, like a wood shop, you could say, with tools everywhere and everything. And we in there just chilling because they trust us, because we worked our minimum time all the way down. All right, y'all. Now, the next job that I would say is one of the best jobs is the cafeteria. Of course, people. You moving around the food. You could use that food to make money. When they got pancakes, you could bring extra pancakes back to the pod with the sprinkle, the sprinkled sugar, all of that, powdered sugar, all of that. And you can sell them joints 3 for however much you want. 3 for $2, whatever. Now, let alone the fact that you could sell extra food out of that cafeteria, you got access to fresh vegetables, fruits, all of that you can bring back to the pod for your hookups. Now, you don't even have to eat in the cafeteria if you don't want to, but why wouldn't you when you get yourself 2 plates from the rip? Everybody getting a strict 1 plate. Not you. You and the boys back there in the cafeteria, y'all eating. Y'all thick with it. Y'all eating heavy. Y'all lifting weights because y'all eating good. Yeah, the cafeteria is the move, y'all. And that also is a job that takes up most of your day because it's a 3-shift job. Morning, lunch, and night. So you had an obligation to, get your rest and not be on your BS in the pod because you got a job to keep. You working. By the way, people, as you're working that back number down. Your minimum is getting lower and lower. The more you work, the more programs you go to, all of that counts in the grand scheme of getting a parole date. That's why people get hit when they go to the parole board, because they sit around the pod all day and be lazy. They don't want to go to work. They don't want to go to program. They don't want to do anything that at least makes it seem like you're trying to change. Even if you're not, people, you got to make it seem like you're trying to change your life. So, cafeteria is definitely high up there on my list. I would definitely say try and get into the cafeteria as a new inmate. The next one that I would say, tier sand. Now, you're probably not going to be able to get tier sand right off the bat. That's kind of reserved for vets. And when I say vets, you got to have a little time in to get a tier sand spot for 2 reasons. For one, the CO's got to trust you. They got to like you. And 2, the inmates don't really have a say in who gets put on tier sand, but they do have kind of an influence. So if they don't really rock with you and you're not willing to make the moves that they need you to make, even if they pay you or whatever, you just don't want to be involved, you're scary, they're going to find a way to get you up out of that tier sand position, and they're going to find a way to get somebody in there that's going to play ball. What do I mean by play ball? I mean, if we downstairs and it's locked down, but tier sand never really gets locked down for the most part. You cleaning up the jail, every floor. So, at nighttime, my homie all the way up on the 3rd floor, he low on Black and Miles. He needs something to get him through the night. We got 12 hours. I need you to slide this pack upstairs. I'm on the bottom floor. Now, for doing that, I might throw you a Black and Mild. I might throw you a stamp. An envelope and a stamp. I could even say, hey, I got a soup for you when the doors pop, bro. Just hook me up. That's one of the perks of being a tier sand, because you're going to make money off of moving stuff around. And the COs know you do it, but they're going to let you rock. As long as they could trust you, they're going to let you rock. So, getting the tier sand position, I would give it 2 years or better, but definitely keep applying for it. Even if you're brand new, apply for it. You never know, you might get it. But keep applying for it. Also, people, the tier sand guy tends to say, stay safe. Now, depending on what gangs are in your jail, everybody is locked down at a certain time. So everybody needs to pass a message, some food, some smokes, whatever. If you're that guy that doesn't give anybody problems, that'll take a quick payoff, excuse me, people, that'll take a quick payoff for a move, back up off of him. That's the guy right there. We need him. After hours, after lockdown, he's the one that makes them moves move. So the Bloods, the Crips, the Yettas, guys, GDs, everybody, they not going to do nothing to you as long as you're willing to play ball. Remember that, people. Because I know some of y'all on y'all way to jail right now. You might not put it in the comments, but some of y'all have done some heinous things. And you're going to prison to pay for it. just listen to what I'm telling you if it's your first time, y'all. Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Next on the list, people, the library. Now, a lot of y'all say the library sound boring. I don't think so, y'all. Because now, here's another story I'll tell y'all. I worked in the library. And I started working in prison from the county. Yes, y'all. Once you get sentenced to state time and you're in the county waiting on, you never know when you're going to go downstate. It took me, I think, 4 months to go downstate. I was in my county 4 months before I went downstate. So, once you're there and they know you're going to be there, you switch from the orange jumpsuit to the green jumpsuit. Now they're going to put you in a working pod. You get a job. Make yourself a little bread, whatever. Some people was in there, and it's a shame, but some people was in the county trying to work their child support down. Which you can do, but it takes forever. Now, working at the library in the county jail was really dope. Why? Because I don't have to ask for permission to go to the library and if I want to look stuff up on my case or try and find something to help me with my case. If I want to check books out. If I want to read books all day. I didn't have to ask permission to go to the library, call, and nothing like that. If I want to check a book out when I'm leaving work, I just check the book out and take it with me back to the pod. And again, people, you're away from the tier most of your day. And you get to be around people that are on the outside. And you might not think so, people, but just being around somebody who you know is living free, it brushes off on you. So I'm sitting over there at the desk or filing stuff, doing my work that I'm supposed to be doing in the library. Right next to me, a few chairs down, is a nice young lady who goes home every day, smells like perfume, and we share stories. You can hear stories from the real world that'll take you back to when you wasn't in such a bad position in life. Sometimes that helps your psyche, y'all. So being able to talk to somebody on a regular basis and not have to pay collect for it or get on the phone or whatever, besides the correctional officers, because normally they don't talk to you like a real person. They ignore you and disrespect you. For the most part. Not all of them, but most of them. So, working in the library got me a even better job, y'all. Now, being that my circumstance was a little different. Hold on, y'all. I'm thirsty before I start having a cough attack over here. That caramel be hitting. Alright. Now, me. I came in there with a high school diploma. I had worked many jobs before I got caught up in my BS. So, when they checked my sheet, they said, you know what? I think you'll be a good fit for the warden's office. I ended up from the library, y'all, working diligently. I was able to move over to the warden's office. Now, all day long, y'all, I'm in a whole office. The warden's office is a real office. There was at least 6 or 7 free employees working in there with computers and everything else all around me. I'm in an office environment. I feel special. Now, I couldn't touch the computers or nothing like that. I couldn't reach out. But you know what? I didn't want to. I just wanted to be right there. I was safe. That was when I first came in and I'm getting to know the jail and the ins and outs, and that's where I got my training, y'all, in the county. And that's one thing I would advise you guys to do. Get as much training in the county jail before you go downstate. Learn the rules before you go. So the first time I walked through a prison door, I already knew what it was. I knew the etiquette, I knew the rules, and there are rules that you wouldn't believe you could end up breaking just not knowing. Who would ever think that somebody would beat you down for farting in the room? But yeah, y'all, you better blow that thing out the cell. Who would think that talking loud could get you beat up? Who would think, people? But that's why if you're not a street dude, you shouldn't be in prison. Simply put. So, the last job that I'm going to say to me was one of the best in there was the mailroom, y'all. The mailroom was really, really dope. People in the mailroom, y'all, they have access to contraband. They can see what comes in first. You know, they have the opportunity to try and hide something, a picture or whatever for their homies or anybody if you pay them, you know, to keep an eye out, because normally they're supposed to pull that out and slide it to the side, you know, for inspection. So there's a lot of perks to the mailroom. Your mail doesn't get jammed up, because when these COs want to act up, they keep your mail locked up and don't give it to you for a week. And then next thing you know, they call mail call and you got like 100 letters because they've been keeping your stuff away from you, which is illegal and unethical. But that's the mailroom, y'all. You can find music that was confiscated. Many things get mailed in, y'all. People mail, drugs in. People mail all types of stuff in, and you inmates actually have the first crack at it before anybody else, before the CO see it, or anything. So when you get your letter and it's sliced open on the top, that was an inmate that sliced it open, because that's their job. They got to slice it open real quick. They don't care if they slice your letter open or nothing, because I got letters sliced in half and everything. They just take the letter opener, whoosh, check it, make sure there's no drugs, no pictures that's not supposed to be in there. Boom, let it fly. Stuff be everywhere. Alright, y'all, that's going to wrap that one up about the 6 best jobs in prison to go for. Now, if there's anything that I didn't mention or touch on, please get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your questions. Your boy Corner is here for y'all. I'm here to let y'all know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of prison. So, with that, I'm going to get on out of here, y'all. Have a nice day.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boys' stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at.